with so much happening on this episode of Dynamite, including Kenny Omega's first match on Dynamite since he won the AEW World title, a huge 12-man tag match, a singles match between a soon-to-be father and one half of a tag team, one amazing women's tag team match that actually elevated the women's division, and of course another tag team match that actually led to a tag title match next week. That's all and more on this episode of AEW Dynamite. Welcome back to another episode of Kimmy Talks Wrestling, where we will be dissecting the December 16th episode of Dynamite, and we are starting right now. What is up, people? So, we only pick, obviously, the top 5 segments. So, first up, we will start with the 12-man tag, just because I had to look up who was on the match. So, it was Top Flight versus the Varsity Blondes versus the Best Friends versus the Inner Circle. Now, I am not really a fan of these big tag team matches because I feel like it gets so chaotic and you could just get lost in the match because there's so much going on. But this one was actually really good. Of course, you had the one spot where everybody was in the ring at the same time, beating each other up. But it was cool. It was really good. Jericho showed his heel tactics. Before this, also, we had a segment with MJF and Jericho, and MJF was showing off because he won the New York Times. I forgot what it was. It was the New York Times best performance, I think, for when him and Jericho did the steak dinner thing. And he was like, I wouldn't be able to do it without my best friend Chris here. And he was hinting friction between them, which was, leading to what might happen at Revolution. Maybe Jericho and MJF too. But this was a really good match. Inner Circle took the win, I believe. I'm pretty sure Inner Circle won. I could be wrong though. Because my notes here doesn't have the one. But this was a really good match. Easy, cool. It flowed with Dynamite very well. Next, we had Cody Rhodes versus Angelo from TH2, and a huge congratulations to Cody Rhodes and Brandi because they are expecting a baby. This was announced last night on Dynamite. They announced it they were putting ornaments on their Christmas tree, and they opened the door and there was a little present there, and it was a Gucci box, and it said, we are expecting a new baby in 2021. The many wrestling couples who have gotten pregnant in 2020 and given birth, so congratulations to them. This match was really good too, especially because it was right after they made the announcement. You saw the huge smiles and excitement on both Cody and Brandi. Arn Anderson was really excited too when he was embracing the moment. Cody gets the win here, and then Team Taz comes out and, congratulations on the baby, la, 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 la. And then Darby's just, staring, and then Sting, with the bat is, don't mess with Cody, I'm gonna come for you. And Will Hobbs is just I'm not scared of Sting. And then they came to the back, and then Sting looked at Darby looked at Sting, looked at Cody. So I'm really wondering, what they are actually doing with Sting, because it looks like they're gonna kind of enter him within this feud with Team Taz and Darby and Cody. And I don't know if maybe Sting is gonna manage Darby and then turn on Darby to set up that match, or I don't know if they are gonna do something with Cody, or I don't really know. But everyone looked good here. This was a super easy segment. This was a better structured AEW Dynamite from last week because, like I said last week, it was so obvious it was taped and it was live. It flowed well. This was great. So good job, people. Next, we actually had something that furthered the women's division, which was actually insane. So it was Serena Deeb and Big Swole versus Dynamite. I know it's Dynamite or something, and then Evilise. And this was such a good women's tag team match. It very much furthered the story because now you kind of have 2 feuds going on because actually 3 feuds, because you have this feud with Britt and Thunder Rosa, then you have this feud with Deeb and Swole and Nyla and Dynamite and Evilise, Red Velvet, and everybody else, and then you have Abaddon versus Shida. So this was a really good segment to really further and be like, hey, look, in 2021 we're gonna use the women's division. This was a good match. Serena Deeb and Big Swole obviously got the win here, and then Dynamite and Elise beat them up afterwards, and then Nyla came out and Vicky started kicking, and oh my god, Vicky, I'm so happy you were never an in-ring competitor. And then Red Velvet came out to make the save, so I'm pretty sure that might lead to a 6-man tag. I don't know if they already announced it for next week, but it might happen next week, if not the week after, not in 2021. But this was really good. I was like really excited for this. And then we had SCU versus the Acclaimed. So like we talked about, I don't really watch Dark, so this was actually like one of the first times I've got to see the Acclaimed. I mean, I know they wrestled last week, but still one of the first times. And they're really good. I like the whole rap thing. I mean, I know we've seen it with Cena and like a couple other people, but it was good. SCU lost, which makes me sad because if you didn't see on Twitter, Daniels was really mad. Daniels was just like, this is supposed to be the fun run, not our last run as tag team partners, which actually makes me kind of sad because you never realize how old Christopher Daniels is. Like, he's literally the talent relations person in AEW. But their job really is to just put over younger talent, which is what the Young Bucks are doing. After the Acclaimed won, they called out the Young Bucks and said, "Oh, like, have the balls to put the titles on the line next week against us." So that's a match that's happening next week, which would be really good. Like, I like the Acclaimed. Like, they're a really young tag team. Like, them versus the other tag team that just debuted, the Brothers, Airwolves or whatever. That tag team, like, that would be a good feud. And this ending segment just had me dying. Like, oh my god. So it was Kenny Omega versus Joey Janela, and they hyped this up because this was the first match since Kenny won the title that he was having on Dynamite. So Don Callis is out there and he's wrestling Joey Janela, and if you didn't know, like, this whole match really started because of COVID. Janela got pulled from the AEW World Title tournament. So, Joey won his revenge. Like, hey, I didn't even get to wrestle in the tournament. Like, give me my chance at the title. They made it a no DQ. There were some scary spots in here. Like, there was a spot through a table that looked kind of scary. And then, like, Kenny had done something and it was too close to the rope. And I was like, oh my God, Kenny, like, spacing. But besides those scary bumps, it was a good match. And then it was also funny because Dawn was like to Tony Schiavone, excuse me, I'm the only one who could call a Kenny Omega match. Get up. And then Tony was like, hell no! I'm not leaving. I get paid to do this. It was so funny. And then so he was doing personal commentary on the microphone. And then he was like, yeah, JR, this is a real slobber knocker. Yeah, Tony, this is how it's done. He went after every single commentator. He gave Kenny the microphone halfway through, and then Kenny started doing commentary on his own match, which was really funny. And, like, I know people said, like, this was stupid because it takes away from the match, but it's something different. Like, we've never had a wrestler do that before, and if we did, you could correct me in the comments, but it was different and it was funny. And so Kenny wins, and then no, like, that's it. There's, like, we answer all the questions. Kenny's better than everybody. So now the Lucha Bros and Pac come out, and Dawn's like, like, why are you guys here? And Pac is like, well, like, Ray Phoenix, like, he had to forfeit his spot to Penta because he got hurt. And, like, I think that should be a match. And Don's like, well, I'm going to tell you a lesson of the wrestling business, kid. Wrestlers don't make matches. So then, and this was also kind of bad too because they were literally running out of time. Like, you didn't even hear, like, Kenny's full response because that's how bad they were running out of time. And I don't necessarily know what segment went over, but whatever. So Pac is like, well, that's where you're wrong, Don, because not next week, 2 weeks, at the first night of the New Year's Bash, because it's 2 parts, it's the 30th and then January 6th. In 2 weeks, I just talked to Tony Khan, it's gonna be Phoenix versus Kenny for the title, and you just see Kenny's face drop, and Kenny's like, you can't do that, who do you think you are, who, what, and that's how Dynamite ends. This is really exciting that they're really trying to plug other wrestlers to wrestle Kenny to kind of, like, cement how is it a champion, especially if the rumors are true that he is going to pick up the TNA title, so he'll have 3 world titles because he has a AAA world title too. So it's fun to see because we haven't seen this since, like, Kurt Angle in 2007. So, this is really cool. It's something especially different, and it makes, like, the interchange, like, Impact X AEW. Really interesting and really fun and exciting. So it's something I'm really looking forward to. Like, just looking back, I can't even tell you, like, who I would want Kenny to drop the title to right now. I really hope Kenny holds this title for, like, a year, and I'm sitting here on December 17th, 2021, telling you how amazing this title run was. But this was a good episode of Dynamite. Like we talked about, the Raw ratings sucked, so let's see if this AEW Dynamite can beat all of the Raw ratings like it did last week. And yeah. So make sure to like this video, comment what you thought about AEW Dynamite. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Segment I left out. I left out the Hangman Dark Order. I'm sorry. That was really good too, though. It's Cowboy Day. That's a BTE thing. So if you don't watch BTE, you have no idea what I'm talking about. Make sure to subscribe. Click that bell for notifications. Tomorrow I will be uploading me and Izzy's TLC predictions. So make sure to check that out tomorrow. Saturday I'll have my SmackDown review up, and then on Monday, depending, I might have one of my friends come on and we're gonna review TLC with you, and then we start the whole week again. And I just want to wish all of you guys a happy early holidays, because I know that it is Hanukkah, because I'm Jewish and Catholic. We celebrate both. So to all my Jewish peeps out there, happy Hanukkah and a happy early Christmas and Kwanzaa. I don't know what Kwanzaa is. I think it's the 26th, but I could be wrong. So happy early holidays. Make sure to follow me on Twitter at Kimmy_WWE and on Instagram at Kimmy Talks Wrestling. And I will see you guys tomorrow for me and Izzy's TLC predictions. And oh, that's going to be such a fun video. Goodbye.